Alright guys, what's up? Brand new deck profile. We are doing Eldlich, but Eldlich with the Windwitch engine. This is something I've been trying out. I actually think it's really nice. Just because Eldlich doesn't care about the extra deck, number one. Number two, Eldlich doesn't have any normal summons anyway, so it's like it fills a lot of the voids that Eldlich sort of leaves open. And on top of that, the Windwitch cards lock you into only synchro wind monsters till the end of the turn, which doesn't matter because Eldlich isn't summoning anything like that, and the Eldlich cards lock you into zombies until the end of the turn. But again, that doesn't matter because you're going to use the Windwitches first. So like they have great synergy with huge boss monsters on the field, like Crystal Wing and Stardust and stuff like that, and gives you a lot of protection. But without a doubt, let's get started. First, we play 3 copies of Eldlich, the Golden Lord. Yes, I'm proxying 2, and that is because I only pulled 1 copy in 8 boxes. What can you do? I'll get it eventually. So we play 3 copies of that. All types of amazing effects with that one. Basically, you can send a spell or trap from your hand to the graveyard, and then you can send this to the graveyard with that spell trap card, and then you can basically send 1 card on the field to the graveyard, non-targeting. Then, on top of that, if this card's in your graveyard, you can send a spell trap card you control to the graveyard, and then you can add this back to your hand and summon a zombie, and that monster gains 1,000 attack, and it can be destroyed by card effects, and you can basically summon itself. It's awesome. So that is our Eldlich monster. The only Eldlich monster that's out. Every card says, Eldlich monster, but this is the only one that's out. Then we play 3 copies of Windwitch Icebell. This is like our Windwitch combo starter. Basically, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card, and then you can special summon a Windwitch monster from your deck, and you lock yourself into, like I said, the Wind Synchros level 5 or higher. But again, it doesn't matter because we don't go into our extra deck all that much anyways otherwise. And normally you're going to summon Glassbell. When Glassbell is normal or special summon, you can search a Windwitch monster, add it to your hand. Also, this is a tuner. And our last card, which is going to be our Windwitch Snowbell, which is usually the card that we will search off of the Glassbell. So the combo is pretty simple. You special summon Icebell. You will then, off of Icebell, special summon Glassbell. And then off of Glassbell, you will search Snowbell, go into your level 7 Synchro, and then into your level 8 Synchro, which can be Crystal Wing or Stardust. So yeah, it's like a combo that just throws a giant boss monster on the field, and it's really effective. Then we play 3 copies of Magician's Souls. So this card is crazy in this deck, like seriously crazy, because number one, you can summon it basically for free. Again, you don't even have a normal summon anyway, but you can summon this for free by sending Apprentice Illusion Magician or Palladium Oracle Mana. You can play either one. Palladium Oracle Mana might actually have more synergy than the Apprentice Illusion. I like Apprentice Illusion because it's a free monster. Again, it's up to you. You can do whatever you want with your life. But basically, you can summon it for free. Oh, and then its other effect is you can send up to 2 spell and trap cards you control or in your hands to the graveyard, and then draw that many cards from your deck, which is just like bananas. It really is, because you can send your Eldlich cards. You can either send like Cursed Eldland if it's on your side of the field, and that gets an additional effect, or you can send some of the other ones that you have, like these right here, and like the Elixirs or the Golden Lands, and then you can banish them and get additional effects, and you gotta go plus every single time. It's really good because you can send those to the graveyard, get all new cards, and those cards are +1s in graveyard anyway, so it's really good for that. Play, of course, the Apprentice Illusion Magician. This card, basically, you can discard a card to special summon. Again, you can discard a Golden Land or an Eldlich, or a, what are these things called? The Elixir cards, which is either way really good. Then for the hand traps, we play 3 copies of Ash. 2 DD Crow, really good in the... I think just really good in the format. This is really just really good in the format. It's even good against the mirror match, honestly. But yeah, really good in the format, so definitely 2 of that. Then we play 2 copies of Black Awakening. Basically, if you this basically lets you summon a Golden Lord from your deck, and then you're locked into zombies. But again, that doesn't matter because the Windwitch stuff and the the Windwitch stuff and the Magician Soul stuff is the first thing you're going to do. So it doesn't matter if you're locked into zombies, because you do this way after anyway. Yeah, but basically, yeah, it locks you into zombies. And then also you can banish this from your graveyard, and then you can set a Golden Lands spell or trap card in your back row for free. So again, like I said, they're always +1s. Then we've got Elixir of White Destiny, 2 copies. This is basically the exact same as this other card I just showed you, but you can summon from your hand or graveyard. You can't summon from the deck or hand. Yeah, hand or graveyard. But essentially the same thing. But it's a quick play. That's the difference with this one. It's a quick play, so you can use it during your opponent's turn. You play 3 copies of Garce Elland. This card is sick, because you can pay 800 life points and then search basically the monster, the Golden Lord, or you can search a Golden Land spell or trap card. And then on top of that, if this card is sent to the graveyard, which you can do through Magician Soul, or you can do through the cursed Eldland Lord anyway, you basically, this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send an additional either the monster, or you can send Golden Land to the graveyard, and as you know, they'll have graveyard effects, so you just get a free +1. So that is that. Then we play 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. Sometimes you don't see the Magician's Soul, sometimes you don't see Pot of Extravagance, and it's really good to have, a +1 every single turn. So you definitely want to see either one of those two, and sometimes one gets negated, and you got to be able to. It's nice to have the option of the other one, right? And this actually baits a lot of Ash Blossoms, and it makes the rest of your hand live. Now let's move on to the trap cards here. We play 3 copies of Elixir. This basically gets you to our Lord, because we don't play any other zombies, but also you can banish this to set a Golden Lord's card. We play 3 copies of Conquistador. This card summons itself as a trap monster, but if you control the Eldlich monster, the Golden Lord, you can basically summon this as a monster, and then on top of that, this one can pop a card on the field when it's summoned. So when it's activated, you can your opponent has to respond to this, and then if this gets summoned, you can basically pop a card on the field non-targeting. And of course, your opponent, since it doesn't target, your opponent has to respond to the activation of this. So, it's kind of like a surprise what's going to get popped for them. And then you can banish this to set an Elixir during the end phase. 3 copies of Hakero, the Golden Land. Basically, this card is similar. You activate it, summons itself as a trap monster. Your opponent has to respond to this card if they want to deal with it. And then it banishes a card non-targeting out of the graveyards. And, of course, number 1, that's good in the mirror match. But in addition to that, oh yeah, and you have to have the Golden Lord on the field to get the banish. Otherwise, it just summons itself as a monster. And then on top of that, you can banish this from the graveyard. And if you banish this from the graveyard, you get to set an Elixir. Then we play 1 Golden Land. This is like our kind of Omni-Negate. If you control the Emperor, what's his name? Eldlich monster, the Golden Lord. If you have control Golden Lord, you contribute a zombie and then negate the activation of a spell trap or a monster effect. But this one doesn't have like a graveyard effect to recover. And then we play 2 copies of Impermanence, just because you play a lot of hand traps in this deck. You got to interrupt your opponent. This deck can actually go second pretty well too. Now let's get over to the extra deck. The extra deck matters to a certain degree. Play 2 copies of Windwitch Winterbell. You got to play level 7s just for the Windwitches. You can play Windwitch Winterbell. You can also play Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Clearwing Fast Dragon is another great one. Basically, this one lets you target a card, negate its effects, target a monster, and negate its effects, make it 0. It's pretty decent. This one inflicts life points, and this one's good against, like, if you're playing against a deck full of synchros, it's pretty decent. Then our level 8s, we play 1 copy of Stardust, although, again, you can change these ratios to whatever you want, because the extra deck, like I said, as long as you play certain cards, beyond that, it really doesn't matter. Play 1 of that. Stardust is actually really good, because if you draw a very back row heavy hand, and you draw, let's say, a back row heavy hand, and then you draw, of course, the Ice Bell, you can summon the Ice Bell, go through that entire circle, end on a Stardust, and leave your back row, and then if your opponent tries to target your back row, you can chain Stardust, negate, and destroy that. So it's actually pretty decent. Then we got the 3 Crystal Wings. Again, you go into Crystal Wing a lot. It's monster negate. If you summon it off of Ice Bell, it can't be destroyed by card effects. So, and then if obviously if it battles, it gains attack equal to your opponent's monster. So, I mean, this card's really difficult to get rid of. Play 2 Bryonic. Again, you change whatever ratios you want. It's really not that serious. This, you can actually use the trap monsters like Conquistadors. Conquistador is level 5, and so is Hakiero. Both of them are level 5, and you can actually use the Ice Bell with that in order to make Bryonic, which is useful sometimes. Then we play 2 copies of Linkuriboh for our Magician Souls, Relinquished Anima for Magician Souls, and honestly, I don't even know what other cards to play, so I'm just playing a Nightmare and a Borreload. But again, the extra deck, like I said, as long as you play certain cards, the rest kind of don't matter. But yeah, that is the deck. I'm very excited about it. It's actually been pretty good. Like, it puts usually a Crystal Wing and a ton of interruptions on board. I'm actually very happy with the deck, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe.